and welcome to Comics Covered. If every episode of Comics Covered was the start of a new dimension, a new reality, this would be Earth 67, the 67th iteration of the Comics Covered.
Jesus.
Earth. Yes, that we created.
I mean, does that mean we have to start a new series every single time? Because if we're beginning new realities, that means they haven't seen the other 66 realities.
I think in every reality that we start a new reality every time we start a new episode, and in every reality the world ends as we finish the episode. We never get to go on to make further episodes. Okay,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then we have to introduce every episode as if it was the first one then.
But it's not the first one. This is the 67th one.
But what kind of beings are we, an audience? You know what I mean?
What?
What kind of beings are in our audience then? Are they interdimensional beings that can see across multiple realities? Are they, you know what I mean?
They can see all, the people in the 67th dimension can see all the previous 66. Boy, this is getting away from me. Here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them. We make weird jokes about dimensions that go nowhere. The comic industry, movies based on comics, TV based on comics. We'll talk about a game once every year. We will also talk spoilers, but we will warn you about them, and we'll make a noise that you will not be able to predict how it sounds.
Yes. You know, the thing about games is that there are so many less games coming out each month or week or anything. You know what I mean? There aren't there's not a game that pops up this week and it's oh, a game's out. You know what I mean? That's the difference between movies, TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, compared to the number of, however, fuck, have you looked at the unfiltered Steam new releases page every week? Jesus Christ.
Yes, but those aren't, they're not big
those
comics.
Aren't games.
I'm not saying I'm just saying they're not comics related usually because, you know, with that, they would have to buy the property. They'd have to build a whole story around it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the amount of comic-related games that come out is fairly infrequent. There's lots of mobile games.
Oh, God, yeah. Actually, there's a lot. What is that one? Future Fight, where you can fight as the Fantastic Four?
They've been putting a lot of ads for that in books. There's Contest of Champions. Let's just name mobile games.
Yeah.
We'll warn you about the spoilers. I'm Doug.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading comics for some number of years, and Jack has been reading comics. He's here with me for some number of years, minus some number of years.
Wow, getting into algebra here, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I am Jack, and I am. I'm fun. I'm a fun guy, like a mushroom. No, sorry, this is terrible.
That was very bad, and I'm calling the police on you.
Thank you.
That was horrible.
Thank you. No, I've been reading a lot less comics than Doug. No, I have been reading the same amount, if not more.
Yeah.
But in the past, I had not read as many. So, we're here, and we're doing a podcast for you all right now. The 67th.
Thanks.
For the week of March 6th, 2019. You didn't say that, by the way.
Oh, I didn't say March 6th? Yeah. March 6th, 2019. I have to I think I've maybe mentioned this on a previous episode, but it's still tripping me up that because we made the show we started the show in 2017?
Yeah.
Yes. And every time I put a new episode into iTunes to tag it, it defaults to 2017.
Yeah.
I have to change it every time. And then I second guess myself if I'm putting the right year in because I think it's 2018. Anyways.
It's going to be 2021. We're going to be doing this. And you're like, wait, is it 2017? Shit.
I don't know. It's kind of a fun little time capsule that every time I put it in, it tries to go is this 2017?
I mean, I agree. I can feel that.
Yeah. How has your week been, Jack?
It was great. I have something really important to tell you.
Okay.
Doug, if I told you that there was a TV show with several women who looked weirdly alike to each other, wooing Pauly D from the show The Jersey Shore, would you believe me?
Probably.
Well, it does exist. It's on MTV, and it is called Game of Clones.
Wait, are you... For what? Okay, no. Now that's the bit that if you had set up that without the description, I would have gone, that's not a show.
Doug?
The description I can buy.
Doug, there is a show on MTV.
What the fuck?
Where they get C and D-list celebrities on there, like Pauly D, and those celebrities give them their celebrity crush. Then the producers of the show go out and find 8 or however many women that kind of look like that person. So they all look alike. And they dress them all in the same outfit.
And
they go on dates like a dating show. And it's called Game of Clones.
Oh my God.
It is. I felt like I was watching interdimensional cable from Rick and Morty. Like, it is bonkers.
That sounds like a fake television show. It sounds like a show that someone would be watching on, like, Family Guy or something.
I completely agree with you. It is crazy. Do you have cable? You have to watch it. It's amazing.
On what? This is on MTV,
it's
you
on
said?
MTV.
This is bonkers.
It's so great.
I might need to at least look up like a preview and just see the different kind of matches they make.
It is
ridiculous.
So weird. Like Pauly D said that his celebrity crush was Megan Fox. So they got like 8 women that kind of look like Megan Fox. And the weirdest thing is that they're all dressed in the same like clothing for the entirety of the show. That's so
fucking weird that it's based on their celebrity crush.
Yes.
And then they found people who are like weird off-brand versions of that celebrity.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not whatever, it's a fucking dating show, but that's not the basis for a relationship.
It's so fucking funny.
Like, you would live your whole life being, like, if you got picked, you'd live your whole life being like, I was on this show because he is really attracted to Megan Fox. And I sort of look like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had such a great time watching it. It's called Game of Clones. It's so funny. Sorry, that was my whole week. That was everything. But it was great. That was my whole week.
Yeah, I made plans finally to finally. It literally came out this weekend. I'm seeing Captain Marvel on Sunday.
Great.
I'm going to an Alamo Draft House. Have you been to an Alamo Draft House?
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't because they don't have any where I have been.
Have we had this conversation on the show before?
We have had this conversation on the show before.
All right. Well, then I won't get into that.
But Alamo Draft Houses are great. I support them with my whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the one in Minnesota?
It's in Woodbury.
God.
It's a drive. Yeah, it's a drive. You have to like kind of make a day out of it.
Yeah.
So we're going to like
Woodbury isn't quite bumfuck nowhere, Minnesota, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Woodbury, Minnesota. So we're going to an afternoon showing, probably get like a late lunch. It'll be great. However, so this week, so we've talked about me kind of, I'm trying to slowly start to move a little more digital, eventually with the goal of, moving entirely digital just for space concerns. But, so I've just been kind of dabbling in that stuff. And I remembered this week that, most Marvel books come with a free digital code, in the physical issues. Because I forgot a couple of the new books this week I was going to just get digitally, and then I totally forgot and just bought them in physical. And then I was like, oh wait, there's a code in here. I can get the digital copy. And then I could just keep getting this book digitally and throw the physical ones out because I don't need them. But anyways, but then I went down a weird rabbit hole because I started thinking about how weird these codes are. And I was like, what started this was like, well, when do these codes expire? Because I probably have a bunch of Marvel books that have digital copy codes that haven't been redeemed. And so it turns out it's about a year. But anyways, I stumbled onto, in this search, there's a weird internet aftermarket for Marvel digital codes for their books. So I'm on a Reddit page right now that's it's our comic codes, and it's just people posting it's mostly people selling them with like PayPal links.
Huh.
Or it's like people like asking like, need this book? And then someone will come along and sell it to them.
That is so weird.
It's like a weird digital comics black market, because like you'll go in there and someone will be like, $1, I've got like 20 codes. And because I assume they're just buying them physically and they don't want the codes.
Yeah.
So they just like hoard them all and then go on the internet and like, here, give me $1.
Jesus.
It's kind of crazy.
That's kind of cool though. And it makes sense. Like, I don't know why they actually include the digital copy. Like, I guess so you feel like you're getting more bang for your buck, but
yeah, it's just a value thing at a certain, like, I don't know, just an added value incentive.
I mean, I guess that'd be a good way to like try out new series that you're not sure on yet. Like to go on these things and like see if anyone has a code and be like, okay, maybe I'll get this or get it in trade.
To be honest, something about that, or the fact that I could continue to go support my comic shop and then have a copy of the book that I could go back to and read without actually having to keep the physical copy, actually kind of made me consider for a second, like, oh, what if I just went and picked up my Marvel books every week and I could still give money to my comic shop, but then I would just keep the digital copy and not the physical one. But then I was just like, that's a lot of waste.
It really is a lot of waste.
That's an enormous waste of a physical product. Like, just don't get the physical product. But anyways, I just thought that was really interesting, weird cultural thing on the internet there.
Definitely.
That I found.
That's so weird. I want to sell my codes now. I probably have a lot, right?
Yeah, you probably have a bunch if you're not planning on using them.
Okay. I'll go onto the black market. That'll be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, don't use our Reddit.
Oh, really? Okay. I won't.
Anyways.
I'll use a new one that's called Blackjack.
What about it?
It'll be called... My username will be called Blackjack. It'll be like Jack on the black market, you know? By the way, I'm going to buy my tickets today to go see Captain Marvel on Tuesday. So we should be able to do a bonus episode soon, right? This week or something.
Yeah. Let's talk about that in our news highlights here. Yeah. So the big thing.
You did the delayed news. Mm-hmm. It's great.
So the big thing that happened this week, Captain Marvel, big new Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
In case you didn't know,
dropped. Yeah. Yeah. In case you've been completely living under a rock, it came out. Yeah. This weekend. Yeah. As I said, I'm seeing it on Sunday. Jack, sounds like you're trying to see it early this next week.
Yep.
So we're not going to talk. We haven't seen it. We're not going to talk about it on this show.
Oh yeah. No spoilers.
Yeah. So no spoilers for that movie yet, because we're gonna, once we've both had the chance to see it, assuming it'll be sometime this next week, we'll record a bonus episode with our thoughts on the specifics.
I did hear that one thing that I don't think is a spoiler, but is an interesting little note. Apparently, there is a Rogue One like ending that leads into the next chapters.
That's definitely a spoiler. What the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean?
A Rogue One like ending? That's definitely a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler. That could be anything.
Rogue One had a specific ending.
I know, it's not going to be Darth Vader killing people.
Did you watch the same movie as me in Rogue One? You're not talking about everybody dies.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking like there's a lead in to the next chapters. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, I don't mean like the general ending. I mean like the ending scene. Like there's a Rogue One.
The last moment that you see in that movie.
I don't mean everyone dies. I don't know anything like that.
Okay.
That's not a spoiler, don't you? You don't think that's a spoiler, do you?
Whatever. Sure, there's a lead into the next movie.
Yeah, who didn't know that? I just think it's interesting that they described it like that. Like, I think it's really cool. I'm excited.
They described it like that?
I heard it described like that.
That's a weird way to describe it, I think. But
why?
Anyways. Because it's misleading.
It's this very specific...
That's not what I think of when I think of the ending of Rogue One.
Really? That's like the most significant part.
I think of everybody dying. Sorry, spoilers for Rogue One.
I mean, that came out like
I already said it,
3 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah. I don't even know.
If you haven't seen it at this point, you're probably not interested.
Yeah. I haven't seen Solo yet. It's crazy. No, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Well, fuck you, Doug. I'm sorry.
Sure. Anyways, so we'll record that at some point. Very excited for that movie, though. Here's a weird bit of news. It wasn't a huge news story, but it's something that we're interested in, and I think is absolutely nuts. So the New Mutants, which is a horror X-Men movie made by Fox, was supposed to come out April of last year, I believe.
Yeah.
And it got pushed back.
Wait, April of last year or this year?
It was supposed to come out April of last year. It got pushed back to February of this year. Then it got pushed back to August.
That's insane.
Which is a delay of 16 months. It came out this last week in a Hollywood Reporter, just like a little snippet in one of their like kind of week wrap-up things. Apparently, according to sources, so they delayed that movie theoretically with the intention of doing massive reshoots. Some sources saying up to 50% of the movie being reshot. So it's now past 2 of the dates it was supposed to release on, and almost a full year past its original release date. And apparently, the reshoots have neither happened nor been scheduled. So this movie's never coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it says that they might put on their screens. Who the fuck knows, though? Like, if
that sounds like speculation, but like it does feel like the kind of thing at this point, if they haven't reshot it, there's no way this is coming out in a movie theater.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like they're going to drop it on a streaming service, probably. Yeah, that sounds about right at some point, just to kind of be like, get it out the door and off their plates.
Is so fucking bizarre. We have a full trailer for this movie.
They released a full trailer before the first release date for this movie, which is well over a year ago.
God.
And then we passed 2 release dates. It's coming out in August now. It's theoretically, it's not. It's not. There's no way,
There's
right?
Absolutely no way. August?
If this movie comes out, in August in a movie theater,
eat a hat?
We need to do something. We need to. I'm not going to eat a hat. That's unhealthy. Okay. We need to commemorate that somehow, because that is truly healthy.
Yeah. What if we changed the opening comics covered music to Exhibit X?
I want an X-Men movie entirely scored by Exhibit.
That'd be great. I would watch.
X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you. Okay, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. If it comes out in a movie theater in August, we'll do that. Or does that mean more drastic?
I think that is the most drastic.
Okay, thank you. It'll be going under our voices the entire episode. Just a constant loop of X gonna give it to you. So going on to news, X gonna give it to you. That'll be great.
I just like the idea of like every time an action scene starts, the same song starts, and it's X gonna give it to you. It's like that fucking sequence in Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Where they beat up a bunch of people and they get swollen.
Yeah, they get real buff and they just go around beating up people, and X gonna give it to you starts playing every time they enter. It's very good. We are definitely, even if it doesn't come out, we're definitely going to commemorate do a memorial on the show for the movie on August, whatever the planned due date is. God, yeah. So you have a last thing here that I'm going to leave to you. Oh yeah, just a little note. So I saw on the news, the actual news, this past few days, that the original graphic novel that Joe Casey is releasing, Jesus Freak, is under fire, and people are doing petitions to get it to not be released because they're sad about
depiction.
Be specific here. Did you see this on Fox News?
Yes, it was on Fox and Friends.
Yes. This was a Fox and Friends report, just to be specific about the particular sector that is.
But you know what's crazy is that apparently they got something to not be released before with a stupid position like this. So I have gone to my comic book store and I have put it on my poll. I had no interest in reading this, but after this, I'm absolutely going to, because that's fucking stupid.
Also, okay, if you're referring to the previous one, that quote was brought down before, if it's Vertigo's Second Coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one you're talking about? That was, no. He did not get, the writer Mark Russell just moved to an indie publisher. Like, the book didn't get canceled.
Okay, but that's still, like, a significant thing.
I don't think it was due to backlash, though. I think it sounded more like it was disagreement with the publisher. Anyways.
Okay, well, I can take that. But nonetheless, I'm totally going to get this book now. And honestly, it looks kind of cool, too. And Joe Casey did well on MCM LXXV. So whatever. I'm going to do it. I'm excited. Okay. What do you think, Doug?
He's doing martial arts? Is that what this book is? Jesus doing martial arts?
Yeah, he's like a kung fu master, basically.
Jesus as Bruce Lee? Sure. I don't know. It sounds like my thing, but it definitely sounds like a thing that you would read. So you go right ahead.
Thanks. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I implore everybody to go out and get this book.
Great. All right. Well, that's going to about do it for news. You want to move on to our weekly comics here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we read a bunch of books this week. Jack, why don't you... well, compared to last week, it wasn't that many.
Yeah, it's pretty small for me, actually. You actually seems like you got a lot.
I think I'm not sure how many I had, but I had over 10, so it wasn't like a light week. But anyways, Jack, why don't you read off what we read together this week?
I just counted. I think you got 11. So we both read Black Hammer. I guess 1945. Should I call it 45 or just 1945? I don't even know.
It's Black Hammer 45. There's an apostrophe 45.
I know, but it's kind of confusing that it's Black Hammer 45 number 1.
No, I would like more subtitles and confusing numbers, please.
Okay, thank you.
Black Hammer 45, number 1 at $3.99.
Thank you. Great. We also have Die, number 4. Doomsday Clock, number 9. Don't get to say that all that often. Apparently, Doomsday Clock number 10 is coming out next month. We'll see.
It was solicited for next month. I don't think that's going to hold true.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers.
Because I think that was based on this last issue being supposed to come out a month ago.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Possibly. Do you know it was supposed to end last December?
Yeah, because it was supposed to be a fucking monthly book.
More on that later. Immortal Hulk.
Last December, as in
December 2018.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it started about when we started the show.
Yeah.
In fact, I was thinking, actually, right. Well, yeah, I was thinking like Doomsday Clock is like the last series that still needs to end that we started near the beginning of our show. You know what I mean?
Did that start after we started the show, or?
I'm pretty sure it started like either the week of or like right after.
Yeah. That I feel like that makes sense. Like, yeah. I feel like one of the big things that I got you to go out and read, like, when you first were actually starting to get into comics was DC Universe Rebirth.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
So, and that was ended up kind of being a lead in to that in parts. So that makes sense. Anyways.
Yeah. Sorry, we have more books. We also read Immortal Hulk number 14, start of a new arc. Justice League number 19, and The Green Lantern number 5.
Mm-hmm. I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man at number 16, .Hue. .Hue, which I am assuming you're supposed to say .Hu, but I refuse.
You refuse? Jeez.
I refuse. .Hue. Batman number 66. We both picked up Meet the Skrulls number 1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, actually.
Paper Girls number 26, getting back to my list. And
ending soon, right?
Paper Girls is, I believe this is the first issue of the last arc.
Wow.
I'm not sure what number it's ending at, but we're in the last bit here. and then Young Justice number 3.
Okay.
So
Doug, I just did some digging. We covered Doomsday Clock number 1 on episode 2 of Comics Covered.
Okay.
Do you want to know the other ones that were on here? We had also Thanos number 13 from Donny Cates' run. Doom Patrol number 9. Okay. Remember that?
Holy shit.
And Wonder Woman.
Doom Patrol was fucking coming out.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman number 35 from James Robinson.
Wow.
See, like, it's crazy. That's going to be a momentous occasion, because that was like, it's crazy. There's no other series that has like gone this long of a time.
Yeah, all those books are done.
You never know about Doom Patrol.
At least those runs, those writers' runs. Oh, well, yeah, fucking Doom Patrol still theoretically out there somewhere. What if someone somewhere, someone started paying Gerard Way and Nick Darrington to just like give them the only copies of Doom Patrol, and it's actually been coming out this whole time, and they're just in a room somewhere, just reading the ongoing adventures of Casey Brink, who we'll probably never see again.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, if Doomsday Clock of this issue, Doomsday Clock has anything to say about it too.
Yeah, fuck that. Oh god, yeah, we do need to bring that up.
Yeah,
All
right, we do.
Let's get into the books here. Here's your spoiler warning, Jack.
What? Oh, there it is.
The little lip smack?
No. What?
Oh, that was okay. Wow, it's getting weirdly meta now.
Is that meta? What is the definition of meta? I don't get it. Is it self-referential?
I don't know. I feel like
because that wasn't self-referential.
I guess meta's maybe not the best word for it, but there is something where
abstract.
I don't know.
It's
anyways, it was a non-traditional. Sure, yeah,
obscure.
That actually works. No, not the same thing.
It is obscure, though, isn't it?
That was your spoiler warning, I guess.
This whole thing, this whole discussion.
Was your spoiler warning sound this week?
It actually was what? Sorry.
What? Great. So yeah, we're going to talk specifics about some of these books, although I guess we're probably not. This first thing could have gone before the spoiler warning, I guess. But let's talk about some of our favorite covers of the week. We started doing this on one episode like a couple months back, and then we totally forgot, I think, the following episode. Yeah. And never did it again.
Well, I think it was a huge week because we had a lot to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, we used to do picks. We turned it into a more kind of unstructured, just kind of talk about our favorite covers. So
it's the cover of the week.
Except not.
Let's
talk about our covers we like.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. What were the covers that kind of stood out to you this week?
Well, I mean, I want to know about. Well, no, let's talk about that one later. I think we always can talk about Immortal Hulk from Alex Ross.
Well, yeah. I mean, it almost feels like it can go without saying because it's Alex Ross on every cover of this book, as well as on Captain America. But like, it's just like it's fucking amazing every time.
Look at all this shit. Like, it's just I'm so happy that he's done literally every single one because it really like. I think it's really important. I never really realized how important that is, like to have a stable, like even just on the cover, like it just makes you feel like
weird.
Yeah,
it's weird how it sets the tone for going into the book. It sets kind of like your emotional state and kind of your reading on the book.
Yeah,
in some subtle ways. It's not like I don't know. It's not going to turn a good book into a bad book or a bad book into a good book, but like. It definitely kind of sets the stage.
Absolutely. And even with issues like this where we have a guest artist, we don't even have the regular artist on this. But I feel at home because of Alex Ross. And it's just beautiful. And like this solemn Hulk looking at this huge explosion with the naked Betty Ross and Bruce Banner. Like, it's just like...
Is this supposed to be a reference to that scene in Watchmen?
I mean, I didn't think about that. I would think it's just because the world's on fire and Bruce Banner and Betty Ross are naked and dealing with it. Like,
I think the imagery of the mushroom cloud in the background with the naked couple embracing in the foreground is a pretty specific image.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but is that When in the Watchmen is that? Is when
it's Night Owl having a dream sequence,
and they don't they unzip their skin?
They pull. Yeah, they're naked, and then there's a mushroom cloud behind them. They unzip their skin, and they're in their costumes underneath that. I mean, so it's not exactly, but I do think it's evoking that.
I can understand that for sure. I think it's and Betty are both in emotionally vulnerable situations while the world around them is exploding, and I'm
not saying it doesn't fit.
Oh, no.
It definitely fits. It's definitely applicable to this book. I'm just saying I think that reference is in there, even if it's not supposed to be specifically.
I can see that. I can agree with you. I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, Alex Ross killing it all the time. Yeah. And then what else we got?
I really liked the layouts. I mean, I like the art on it too, but I like the layout of the Meet the Skrulls cover.
Yes, which I actually don't think I haven't Meet the Skrulls in front of me actually. Anyways, but Meet the Skrulls, yeah, I really like the Meet the Skrulls cover. It's Marcos Martin cover, I believe.
I didn't realize that was him.
Who does The Private Eye, and I think did he do Barrier with Brian K. Vaughan?
Yes, I believe so.
He's done a bunch of stuff with Brian K. Vaughan.
Oh yeah, he totally did Barrier. I recognize his art now. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like Marcos Martin. He did some on Mark Waid's Daredevil. He did Doctor Strange: The Oath with Brian K. Vaughan, which is a really great Doctor.
Did you read Barrier? Sorry.
No, I want to read it sometime, but I have not gotten around to it yet.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, it's a really great cover. It's for anyone who has not seen that. It's a kind of family photo, and it's been cracked, and under the glass you see the real family, which is that they're all Skrulls. Mm-hmm. And I really like I really like it conceptually, and I really like how Marcos Martin is completely ignoring how Skrulls are drawn in the actual book itself, and is just drawing them like old I guess it would be like Silver Age, but really old retro style Skrulls with these big bug eyes. It's great looking.
But I also like in terms of getting you ready for what kind of story it is and getting you in that mood set. I love how in this broken photo, all the 3 family members are showing Skrulls, but the one family member who's looking more not that happy and kind of chilling, is not, as if she's not kind of identifying with this sort of alien life that she has. So I don't know. I really love covers that have that sort of aspect of it, and it obviously looks nice too.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite cover this week. I really like it. I really like Marcos Martin.
Also, I really like the title design. Meet the Skrulls.
Yeah, it's very retro sci-fi looking.
I imagine, what's that instrument we were talking about last episode?
Jesus. That is a... Can't recall.
Etherphone or something? You know what I mean? Shit.
You ask your question about that last book.
Okay, you look that up. So I have a question about this last cover. This cover is great too. I'm not going to say anything else. But Doomsday Clock, number 9. Mm-hmm. We got a cover. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it has an L on it. It's probably like Lex Luthor or something. No, that's not correct, apparently. I was proven wrong. I've not read any Legion of Superheroes from the 30th century, but I guess this is one of their things, and I don't know who that is. I don't know who's under the Iron Mask, as Dr. Manhattan at the beginning says. Who is this, Doug? Tell me, now.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure who... I'm not also super familiar with the Legion of Superheroes.
Didn't you read a whole run of them?
No.
Really?
I read a bunch of JSA, if that's what you're thinking of, but not Legion of Superheroes. Anyways,
who has the big runs on Legion of Superheroes?
I think Jeff Johns did a run. I'm not sure who all are the big writers historically on that series. Anyways,
well, there you go. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, this is just one of their rings. They've all got them as members.
Oh, they all have them. I thought it was a specific person's ring.
Yeah, no, this is their rings they have as being members of the Legion of Superheroes.
Okay. Well, there's a question that you can answer. Good. Samantha was just reading and asking me about Legion of Superheroes, and I told her like that's what the Quantum Age is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the specifics of this though. I thought it was funny that it just randomly happened to be the beginning of this issue of Doomsday Clock as well.
Yeah, I mean they've been kind of sort of building a little bit towards reintroducing both the Legion of Superheroes and the Justice Society through this book in like little Easter egg stuff. They Saturn Girl has been in issues, and she is a member of the team.
Yeah, whatever happened to them? We just kind of forgot about Rorschach in this book.
Should we
go into spoilers on this book just now?
Yeah, let's talk about this book. This is the first book we're gonna talk specifics about now. So yeah, definitely spoilers now. But yeah, so let's fucking dig into Doomsday Clock number 9, because boy is it something to dig into.
Yeah.
This is probably,
first of all, go ahead.
Is this the most the last issue was pretty eventful, but
I would say 2 issues ago is even more, because that was the first appearance of Dr. Manhattan, I believe.
I don't know. It's just been it's the plot's really been like really getting going in the last few issues, and this continues that kind of momentum. A lot of stuff happens. There's a lot of ideas presented. So
we should just go like from beginning to end, just everything here, because I feel like there's
the bit with the Legion of Superheroes ring. I again, I'm not 100% sure which character he's referring to as the dead boy whose ring this is.
Okay,
but fascinatingly, so he implied messing with Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, a couple issues ago, I think, and so he again implies, while holding this ring, that he reaches out and basically makes a small change that prevents Alan Scott from becoming the original Green Lantern, and that subsequently changes the timeline, so the Legion of Superheroes never happens. So I think the implication is here that the small changes he made to remove the kind of history of superheroes from this world is what has kind of made it bleak and hopeless and removed so many of the characters from the timeline.
Yes. I have a question about that, too.
Okay.
So, is this supposed to mean that ever since Rebirth, we have been living in a world without the JSA?
Oh, yeah. The JSA has not been a thing. They had a book just after New 52. Well, it's not since Rebirth. It's since New 52. There was never a JSA. After New 52, they made an Earth 2 book, which was a different universe in which modernized versions of the JSA lived. But there was never a historical version of the JSA, never a team that existed in the 40s or whatever.
Okay.
Like Jay Garrick and Alan Scott never existed in this world, and they've been kind of teasing them out as this series has been happening.
Okay, my next question.
Yep.
So, and also, since New 52 then, Wally West hasn't been a thing until Rebirth.
Yes.
Okay.
They introduced the other Wally West that they then backpedaled on and introduced the original version of Wally West, and it's weird and confusing, and I don't like it. But
so I have a question about that later in the book.
Okay.
So after all this talk about do I like make everything go? Apparently, this world ends. That's when Superman gets pissed at him. Whatever. I love the next title sort of page, The Crisis. I think it's awesome. It really makes you feel like, oh, shit's going down. And then the fucking cavalry over the next panels, all these fucking drawings. It really makes me feel like the reason why these take so long. Like, just look at all these just gorgeous images of these definitive heroes going to one place. Like, I had played a game with myself, seeing how many people I actually knew, and I know a lot of people now.
Okay, you want to play the most exciting game for our listeners? Name that character. Sure.
I can just go panel by panel.
Go panel by panel, left to right. Who we got in this sequence? So this sequence is it's basically all these ships full of Earth's heroes are flying to Mars, and we get three pages with 3 panels each, 9 panels of basically who's on each ship.
Yes. So, here we go. In the first panel, we have Hawk Girl, Big Barda, Scott Free, and Hawkman, Carter Hall. Mm-hmm. I don't know Hawk Girl's name.
It's not... I think they're going by Kendra Hall this time.
Kendra Hall, I think.
Or Kendra Saunders?
Yes.
Kendra Saunders.
That's it. Okay, next panel, we have Jon Stewart, Cyborg, Jessica Cruz, I guess Guy Gardner is sitting in the way back. Yeah. We have Wonder Girl, and then we have Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, and then to his left is Starfire. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So then we got the Flash, Barry Allen, fucking, what's her name? Black Canary, what's her actual name, though? I keep thinking Donna Summers. I know it's not Donna Summers. What's her name? Shit.
Dinah Lance?
Diana Lance.
Wait. Oh, shoot.
No,
I get her
it's Diana something.
It's not Diana.
It's not?
Dinah Lance is either the first or second Black Canary.
Oh, Dinah. Dinah.
Yeah.
Dinah. D-I-N-A-H.
I'm not 100% sure if I'm mixing her up with the Golden Age Black Canary.
Okay.
But,
whatever. Then we got Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter. I do not know this fiery-haired bitch in the back.
I think that character's name is literally Fire. But let me look.
Okay, her name's... So I got it right, you're saying. Fire.
You said fiery bitch, which is not
fiery
a
hair
character.
bitch.
But I think this character's name is Fire, because I think it was part of a duo, maybe?
Fire.
My internet is
like
being
Fire
very
and Ice?
slow. But,
okay, whatever. Then we got Mira and fucking Aquaman. That's the first page. Damn. Okay. Next page, we have Supergirl. I don't know Star Guy in the back. Is he a Starman of some sort?
That is a confusing thing that came up on Twitter. And someone answered it, and I didn't fucking... It was apparently a character, I think, introduced by Dial H for Hero, an old run. And it is one of the heroes that was called in by the H-Dial, but they called him a specific name at one point, and I
know it looks like? It looks like that guy who's in Naomi that's telling that girl about herself.
But he's like a weird sand... I don't even know what the fuck this dude is. He's weird. I don't know his deal.
Okay, so his name is Weird. We have 2 metal men. Yes. I guess metal woman, metal people. I don't know the specific.
It is Tin and Platinum.
Tin and Platinum. I guess the P kind of...
Tin, they have the, like, symbols. The weird, like... Greek-looking symbols for their elements, and Tin is the little kind of teal-y guy, and Platinum is the tall lady one. Okay. So, yeah.
This Superman guy, is that Steel?
That is
something? Steel.
Yeah.
He's the one that's in 52, right? A lot?
Yes. That is...
Okay. Is his daughter a thing in New 52 or no?
Yes. She was in the Superwoman book from a while back.
Okay.
They both were.
Okay. Then we got...
I don't know who these butts are in the foreground.
I feel like one of them is Animal Man, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. Whatever. Butts away from us. We have John Constantine, we have Zatanna, and we have Swamp Thing and Deadman, Mr. Boston, right?
Boston Brand, yeah. I'm trying to find in these other panels where these weird blue and yellow butt people are. Who the hell are they?
Going. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, we have our favorite panel, featuring Casey Brink. I'm just kidding.
God, yes. This is a panel of the Doom Patrol. It's confusing, this panel.
Well, it's awesome that they included them. I think it's really cool.
It's cool that they included them, but it's a weird, like, I don't know where this fits into continuity at all. Because there is a fucking Doom Patrol book that's theoretically still ongoing, or at the very least where we last left them. This is not the lineup.
Yeah, well, because Rita Farr isn't even there, right? And Flex Mentallo isn't there either.
Flex Mentallo's in the back.
No, I mean in the Doom Patrol lineup that we have recently had.
Yeah, he was.
He was? He was in there?
Yeah, he was he was a big part of the book.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember. But Rita Farr wasn't there, right?
Rita was not there. Crazy Jane was there. And Robot Man and Negative Man, obviously.
Yeah.
The Chief was not really a part of the book. So them getting back together with him raises questions for me.
Yeah.
But,
whatever. Yeah, so we just named everybody. But there you go. Left to right, we got Road Man, Flex Mentallo, Negative Man, fucking Niles Calder, the Chief, Jane, Crazy Jane, and Rita Farr. I like their designs in this, though. They look great.
Yeah, they look great. I mean, but it's just confusing. I'm sure people who more in tune with some of the continuities of some of these other characters are also confused by some of the shit about that. But I feel like this is the only one that's like a team.
Yeah.
Like, the one before it is sort of Justice League Dark, but not really, because there's some randos in there. So I guess maybe it's the same kind of thing. I don't know.
Whatever. So we got... The next one might be a little tougher. We have...
Some of these are a little hard to distinguish, I think.
Yeah. We have Nightwing, Dick Grayson, which is an interesting change from the current timeline of Dick Grayson, who's going by Rick and not Nightwing.
Well, this book kind of... It's also confusing because this book theoretically still, I think, technically is taking place in the future of the DC.
No, I know.
Yeah.
It's just...
But yeah.
What is it? Then we have the Signal right behind him, I believe. I don't know who the white guy is behind.
No, that's Black Lightning.
That's Black Lightning? Oh, shit. Well, you know what? Whatever. Well, okay. Yeah, it's Black Lightning. Okay. Who's the other guy behind him? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a blonde guy.
Okay, it's a blonde guy. We'll just call him
always
the Nazi.
sees his head, and he's really far in the background, so I don't know who that is.
Okay, whatever. Maybe, I don't know. So then we have Batgirl, and then behind her we have Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who the woman is behind Red Hood.
Can't see enough of her to really tell who that is.
Okay, we have Red Hood, and then we have Katana, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
yeah.
she's
and
the one that was...
I just noticed, there's like a weird Dalmatian.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was either. I thought it was a cow at first, like a small cow.
It is kind of like a cow. Wait, Jack.
What?
This is sort of the Bat family, sort of like Batman and Batman related characters.
Bat cow?
On the ship, it's Bat Cow.
Is that really a character?
Dude, it's Bat Cow.
Is that a real character?
Have you not heard of Bat Cow?
No.
Damien has a pet cow.
Damien just has a pet cow.
Yeah, Bat Cow. It has a spot shaped like a bat on it.
Okay, I'll take it.
Or it has a mask. Is that what it is? It has like a stripe shaped like a mask. That's what it is. Like a bat. Yeah, like a stripe on its face, like a bat mask.
I mean, yeah, it has to be that. Like, that's awesome. Yeah. They have Bat Cow. Why would they bring Bat Cow?
I don't know, but I feel like that's the like. What else the fuck is this? I think it's Bat Cow laying down.
I mean, yeah, it is, but why are they bringing it to Mars? There's got to be a panel with Bat Cow in the background of one of these huge... We'll get there.
That feels like a throwaway gag. Oh, wait, shit! No. It's, I found it in a later panel, and I don't think it's Bat Cow.
Oh, shit.
It's one of those giant Dalmatians, so this might be Atomic Knight. So this is a weird thing. There's a character named Atomic Knight, and he rides a big Dalmatian.
Oh, so is that the guy behind Black Lightning, you think?
Maybe. Or, yeah, there's Atomic Knights,
like
and they ride giant Dalmatians, and they're weird.
Oh, that's weird.
I found it in a later panel, and it is there, and yeah, there is a knight standing next to a big Dalmatian.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, I'm glad I know about Bat Cow now.
Okay,
too.
well, anyways, could have been Bat Cow, should have been Bat Cow.
Should have been back.
That would have been amazing if they just a throwaway gag implied that they brought back out with them. So that would have been very good.
In my heart,
headcanon, that is it's a bat count in my brain.
Okay, next panel.
one.
Let's speed through these ones because I don't know.
I'm lost a little bit on this one.
Okay,
well, I'm really just the first one, but
yeah, this first guy, who the fuck knows? He's a gladiator of some sort. Let's just call him random buff dude. He could just be a random buff dude. Let's be honest.
He could just be some random buff dude.
Then we have Shazam. We have the Star Spangled Girl, or just Stargirl, I guess.
It's Stargirl. Yeah,
Stargirl. Mary Marvel in the foreground, and then I actually know, I think, who all these, because this is the Marvel family in the back.
Do you know their names? Because I do not know any of their names.
Darla is the short one.
Okay.
Freddy is the one with the long blonde hair.
Yes.
The big one is Pedro.
Okay.
And the shorter one is, I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know his name. But good. Yeah, it's more than I would have gotten. I
mean, we were reading
Darla
that book,
was one of them, and I know Freddy.
Freddy looks like Fabio right now.
Yeah.
And then the last one is all the Charlton Comics characters, which is fun.
Yeah.
We have Blue Beetle, aka Night Owl. We have Captain Atom, aka Dr. Manhattan. I don't know who the fuck this woman is.
Yeah, because this isn't Phantom Lady, which is who I thought. I'm not sure who this one is, but I assume it's another one of the characters who's a potential analog for Silk Spectre.
Yeah. Whatever. Then we have Vic Sage's The Question, aka Rorschach. So that's fun.
Yeah. So you named most of them. You named pretty much all the ones I could name.
Yay!
But yeah, I could not find this fire lady.
Yeah. You can't. She doesn't come up when you type fire into a Google.
No. Anyways.
Nonetheless, let's keep going. Let's do the actual what happened here, Doug. So much happened.
Yeah.
We come the aftermath of Moscow, the huge explosion.
Yep.
What else? Doug, go ahead.
They go basically. They all go to Mars because they were able to pinpoint that the energy signal that the explosion that caused the explosion came from Mars. And they go there to confront, turns out, Dr. Manhattan. But it seems like Dr. Manhattan is being framed.
Oh, absolutely. For this.
And it seems like Ozymandias is kind of orchestrating all this.
With the cat.
Yeah. Wait, what?
With his cat.
Oh, with his cat, yes. The cat, big mastermind in this scenario.
No, the cat has Dr. Manhattan's powers. He's the one that's
right. Yeah, you're
causing the energy signature.
He's using the cat to mimic Dr. Manhattan's powers, yes.
Yeah, so they think that they can stop it with stopping Dr. Manhattan, but they're going to all die and cause chaos.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they go to confront him. Dr. Manhattan is confused. And then, there's a really fucking great sequence where they all try to attack him, and he's just, absorbing all their powers, including, ones that, he doesn't understand and, understands in, a second. He's you think what you're willing is magic, and then he absorbs Zatanna's powers and, is able to do magic back at her.
Yeah, and I thought that was so fucking cool.
It's so fucking cool.
Well, I was wondering, actually, because you have a specific dislike for explaining magic.
Yeah, I think they left it vague enough here.
They did.
I think it works.
I think it absolutely works as a definition of magic in general, honestly.
Yeah, I think it fits in with kind of what you would think of as what magic is without, putting a, pseudoscience explanation on exactly how it works,
Even
it's because it kind of just saying it it kind of it takes advantage of gaps in the universe or whatever, which is kind of the explanation here. Just kind of yeah, sure, that's totally open to kind of doing whatever you want with magic without putting rules on it,
Yeah, and honestly, even if it's not a definition of what magic is, it's definitely how I would see Dr. Manhattan perceiving magic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
How he would logic that out. Yeah, I think it works it kind of works on both sides there. I think. But he's not able to do to replicate Green Lantern's powers because he doesn't really have emotions.
Yeah. He doesn't have a will. Yeah.
So, which is kind of really cool sequence. He like absorbs his power and then he like is kind of fascinated by it, but can't really make anything with it, which is cool.
Also, I really, really like the use of words here. He specifically says when he has the thing, he says, I find it difficult to affect, which could also mean I find it difficult to affect, aka like having emotions.
Huh.
That was definitely on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I love that kind of shit. It's Geoff Johns. It's a motherfucker.
Yeah. He's great.
Also, is this how Guy Gardner usually is then? I gotta assume.
He's a giant dick. That's just kind of... He's the Green Lantern who's a giant dick.
What was his thing? Was he the artist? He's not the artist, right?
No, that's Kyle Rayner. He's just a guy. He's just like a big bro.
Yeah. I love how they draw when he goes in for his punch, how they literally draw his neck snapping.
Yeah, they draw Dr. Manhattan's neck snapping, and then he comes back, because of course.
It's great. Now, I want to get back to, because then after this first part of this fight where he absorbs the magic and directs it back to them, we come back to Lois Lane and Lex Luthor in a hospital room with Superman, which is fine. I love their interactions with each other. It's great. I'm really, really confused by the state of Wally West in this universe.
Where's Wally?
He says, my evidence points to one of its victims. One of his victims. Have you ever heard of Wally West?
It's fucking insane. So,
okay,
I have many thoughts.
Let me try and break this down first, okay? So, New 52 gets rid of Wally West.
Yes.
Barry Allen's the only one. Then Rebirth happens, and it's centered around Wally West coming back into the fold. And he's like, okay, I'm Wally West. Everyone's going to start remembering me. Flash remembers him, Barry Allen, I mean. And then I assume everyone else starts to remember him. And it's like, you're just this weird anomaly. So then things like happen, like Flash War, things like Heroes in Crisis, where he just died. But then in this book, in the future, they're acting like they don't know who Wally West is. But he's been around since Rebirth, and people know who he is. So what the fuck?
This book's placement in... This book taking forever to come out fucked up pretty much all of their plans outside of this book for its ties into the DC universe.
But even if... is this a rewritten part? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense even if it did come out on time.
I don't know that Lois would know who Wally West was. Even if, like, no, but not everyone knows who Wally West is at this point.
Really?
Mostly just kind of like the characters close around him.
But also, Superman in Heroes in Crisis has been talking about Wally West dying, wouldn't he?
I don't know. Man, there's so many holes. But it's so frustrating because, like, they very clearly intended for Wally West to be this central figure that they're still using him as here. But then because it took so goddamn long for this stuff to come to light, in the Flash books, they've basically just been going on and like inventing their own solutions for why Wally West was erased. They like gave an explanation for it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Already. That doesn't have anything to do with it. And it's maddening. At this point, like, I'm just kind of like, I've stopped thinking that this is part of continuity. Like, it just doesn't fit anymore. Like, it's so out of time. And I think it's weird that they keep putting stuff in to, like, kind of reinsert it back into canon. The fact that they use the Hall of Justice, you know, like, stuff like that. Like, it's just really weird.
But, like, on one hand, I like that they're having a lot of, like, centrality to Wally West. Like, he's very important, seemingly, but it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It doesn't. It's very frustrating. But anyways.
Nonetheless, I really love this book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
if you look at this book in a goddamn vacuum, it's great.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where it goes. Yeah, and then what is the end here? They fucking imply that and I'm not sure if this is because Dr. Manhattan fucked with the universe. They basically imply that the Superman theory. Superman theory.
Superman theory.
The Superman.
I don't think it's an implication at all. I think it's straight up say it.
Yeah, he basically, Dr. Manhattan shows Ronnie Raymond a vision of his past in which Dr. Stein, the other half of Firestorm, definitely 100% orchestrated them becoming Firestorm as part of this project, as well as other metahumans. So,
it's got to be because of what he changed. Honestly, that's how I say it. It
has to be. That's so dark. Like that really fucks up the Firestorm dynamic.
Yeah, and it also is just like, I don't know, dark. Like if that's just what it is now, it's just like dark for no reason. It's weird.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but I think that's why it seems like it's definitely part of the like darkness that Dr. Manhattan, or not the like cynicism that Dr. Manhattan brought to the DC universe by changing the past. So they fight him. They basically, do they lose?
I mean, Did you get the idea? Did you get the idea that once like Captain Atom came into the picture and started using his powers, Dr. Manhattan stopped screwing around and he's just made a huge explosion because he knew Captain Atom could get him?
I think Captain Atom makes this explosion.
Oh, because he splits them apart?
Captain Atom seems to be the active one in this bit where the explosion's happening.
Yeah. Oh, I guess so, yeah.
He says Captain Atom is the last thing you'll ever see, and he's like charging up, and then Dr. Manhattan looks like shocked. Because I assume he's encountering a character who's basically him.
Yeah.
He's not as ridiculously overpowered as him, but you know, like it's something very analogous to him because it's literally the analog to him. But then he comes back from it.
So what do you say to this mark that he has on his back now? I remember someone specifically giving him that mark, and it looks like it was Firestorm, actually. This mark on his back. Is that just him reforming?
I think that's him reforming. Injured? It's just his musculature.
Okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought he got injured. I guess not.
No, I think that's just he hasn't fully reincorporated his body yet. Anyways, the big cliffhanger at the end being Wonder Woman goes to speak at is this the United Nations? And she's like going to go speak on behalf of the metahuman crisis, and Black Adam, along with some other supervillain friends, Giganta and the Creeper.
The Creeper, who I thought was Beast Boy, and I was like, no, he's not evil. Black Adam and some other supervillains take advantage of all the superheroes being off planet, and I don't know attack the United Nations. I don't know what the hell this has to do with anything. He probably just wants to speak up because he doesn't see Wonder Woman as doing the right job.
He's been kind of the like safe haven for metahumans during this crisis, so like it's definitely tied in. I'm curious to see that fleshed out, like how that fits into the larger plot.
It's crazy shit. I almost forgot about Black Adam being a part of this
they haven't
story.
really addressed because they haven't really like directly addressed him in a bit.
Yeah.
Firestorm went and hid with him.
Actually, he was in the last issue.
Yeah. Did Firestorm go and hide with him in the last issue?
No, Superman went to Black Adam and he was theoretically asking Black Adam, like, can we bring Firestorm here?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Anyways. So crazy stuff. We talked a lot about this book. But,
I know. We can move on. It's just like there's so much shit happening, and then after all this shit in this book, you get to the end, and it's like, oh, fucking Black Adam's fucking shit up now. Like,
it's just like a lot of stuff happening. You get Ozymandias kind of manipulating things from behind the scenes. And it seems like Dr. Manhattan is literally killing everyone in the end of that scene. So
I don't think they're dead.
They're not going to be dead. I'm willing to bet that by the time we get to the end of this Doomsday Clock series, we're going to have a kind of sort of reboot of the universe a little bit. So,
is this a crisis, you think?
I mean, they fucking literally call it that in the opening of the book.
I know, but do you think this is going to be seen as a crisis event in the future?
If they reboot it, then yeah.
Pretty cool shit. Okay.
I'm guessing if they do, quote, reboot it, it'll be more of a shifting than a, like, full reset.
But I feel that. Okay.
Anyways, so that's that book. That book is still insane. Really wish I could get it more often, but I'll take it when I can get it because it's worth it for the art to be this incredible.
It really is. Like, I feel like I'm spending so long looking at each thing because it's just like, it's such a definitive style of each like design. Like, it's amazing. It's
Gary Frank. If I had to pick one artist to draw all of superhero comics, if I had to have that, I wouldn't want that. But if I had to pick one, Gary Frank might be, he'd be on the list at least of my top choices.
I wonder
just because I think it's so what?
I wonder if we should do that someday. Like, figure out a list of people that if you had to have one person draw all your superhero comics, like, who would be on that list? You know?
Just I think it he works in so many contexts, and I think it works. Yeah, it works no matter kind of what you throw at him, and it's it's so good. So that's Doomsday Clock. What else do we want to talk about this week? You wanted to talk about Justice League, but
because I thought that let's just give a little word on that. I thought Justice League was awesome. I loved this story. I love Mr. Mxyzptlk. I loved the way the story is. I love where this arc is going. I'm just really excited. Also, I really liked the designs of the 6-dimensional designs of all these characters.
Oh yeah, the art in this issue, fucking Jorge Jimenez is the best artist on this book. Jorge Jimenez is.
You don't like Chung?
I really love Jim Chung, but fucking Jorge Jimenez is on a whole other level, I feel like. And he's someone who I hadn't really experienced much of before this book, and it works so well. It works so well specifically on this book. I don't want to talk too much about it. I originally removed it from this section because I didn't want to spend a bunch of time complaining about it. I thought this issue was better. I agree. I just still really don't connect with the bits I still don't connect with. And I thought the stuff that I like about this series, it had more of that in this issue, and I enjoyed it more generally. But I don't really understand or connect with the threat or the conflict happening here. I do really like the future / alternate timeline Justice League that's happening here.
Yeah.
I especially the Superman. It's fucking cool design.
Is John Stewart, is that what White Lanterns look like?
That's the White Lantern symbol. So yes, seems like he turned into a White Lantern. Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl have a child.
Have a Hawk Martian.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because Martian Manhunter can fly and also shapeshift.
So why does he need wings, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe he can't shapeshift. And he's just green and has wings, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways.
But then we have 3 Flashes.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know who any of these are.
Well, one's Wally West, one's Barry Allen, and the other's another Flash.
Yeah, it's maybe... I don't know who this other one is. Impulse, maybe? Not sure. Anyways, yeah, so that's a thing. I do think this was a step in a better direction, but...
Yeah. Not enough to get you to go?
I'm gonna keep fucking reading it because I have a problem.
You're really gonna keep reading it? That's hysterical.
I'm gonna keep reading it.
I think you should. Like, look, this arc, in any case, is gonna be really, really fun. More so than that weird, like, I don't know. It's just
if it's gonna be about them, like, being confronted by these future versions of them, which it seems like from the solicits I've seen, I'm into that. I'm into these designs.
Yeah.
I want to keep looking at Jorge Jimenez art if he stays on it for a whole arc. But
yeah, anyway. It's great. And I love this, like, I don't know. I think there's a playfulness to this one that makes reading some of the heavier exposition stuff, like, I don't know, it makes it feel better to me. I don't know, it makes it worth it.
The exposition still felt lengthy and unnecessary. I just I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about something else that we both read this week. Something new.
Yes.
So we both picked up the first issue of Black Hammer 45, which is a Golden Age tale set in the Black Hammer universe. I don't even know if you would call this. Would this be Golden Age or pre-Golden Age? I don't know. It's like a World War II era.
Yeah.
1945, obviously. Era Black Hammer universe story about the Black Hammer Squadron, which is a squadron of pilots fighting the Nazis. And it is the first Black Hammer book to be scripted by someone other than Jeff Lemire. So we have story by Jeff Lemire and Ray Fox, with Ray Fox doing the script. Matt Kint on art.
Matt Kint has been on my list of wanting to look at more stuff by him. Like MGMT is one thing by him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Department H.
What does Ray Fox do?
Ray Fox, I've been wanting to read another book of his for a while. I really like his book, Gotham by Midnight.
Okay.
Which is a kind of supernatural kind of noir book in the DC universe. I've tried a couple of other things that I haven't liked. For example, Ragman, that we both read, was not very good.
Oh, that was Ray Fox?
Yeah, I haven't really loved some of the other stuff I've picked up, but I do like his scripting here, though.
Yeah?
I think it really works. So it's a story about a couple members on the anniversary of that fateful mission, whatever happened on it.
Yeah.
Getting back together and remembering kind of the lead up to it. And so they're going to go fight the what is this? The Ghost Hunter. Just they're gonna be in a conflict with all three: the Ghost Hunter, the
the Red Lady, the Red Tide. I don't remember. Sovia? I don't know.
And then this giant fucking weird Thor god thing at the end.
Yeah, okay. So for this guy, I liked this. I think there's a definite decrease in quality from the beginnings of other spin-offs.
Yep.
And I feel bad to compare it like that, but I mean, it is in the same universe. So if there's anything to compare it to, it's those. I really liked it though. I really like the 1945 aspect melded with the superhero and huge god shit. I think this suffered a little bit from, the first issue woes of having to explain everything. I don't know. I'm excited to see how it goes. The art is rough, but it looks so cool.
It works. I have a love-hate relationship with Matt Kint's art. I really like it in some circumstances, and in other circumstances, half the panels I look at and I go, that really fucking works. There's an energy to that works. Especially, I think, in the wide shots.
Yes, this last page, I think.
This last page, really any of the landscapey looking shots, the shot of the first shot you see of the Red Tide, the giant mechs, or the stuff where they're going real fast in their jets, or not jets, they're fucking old fighting planes. But the quieter stuff, where it's just people standing around talking, I don't really care for it as much.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
I don't know that it fits. So I don't know. I think it generally fits this book because it feels like an old style of art.
Yes.
But also, I don't know. I never come away from a Matt Kent book kind of having a firm opinion on if I wish it was someone else or if I really like his art. I can't really decide one way or another. But
we'll see. I'm obviously going to keep going. It's an interesting story. They set up an interesting mystery, and not mystery, but an interesting event that we're going to learn more about. Did you read also the preview at the back of this book?
Was that the Calamity Kate one? I glanced at it for the art, but I'm picking that book up next week regardless, so I didn't really read it very closely. Right. I know it's a very brief preview.
Yeah, they really don't have anything, but I would read this little essay that Magdalene Visaggio has in the back, because I think it makes me way more excited for this book, this series in general.
Yeah, kind of talking about her. I didn't read it very closely, but I will probably before I put this book away. Can
you tell me, so Magdalene Visaggio, she transitioned recently?
I'm not sure about the timeline.
Okay. Nonetheless, I also saw this other book that's coming out on March 20th that I need to get, called The Invisible Kingdom by G. Willow Wilson and Christian Ward.
Yeah, that's also on my list. I want another G. Willow Wilson book. I didn't really connect with her Wonder Woman run, but I really like her Ms. Marvel stuff, and Christian Ward is really great. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, this shit, after reading, Black Bolt that he did, like, I've wanted another one from him, and this shit looks exactly like the shit I want. Like, have you read about what this is about at all?
I know nothing. I'm going to go in blind. But if you want to talk about it, you can. But
I'm just saying, knowing about it makes me, like, so excited, like, for this. Like, it sounds like exactly the kind of shit that I love, honestly. Yeah, I'm super pumped. But yeah, I'm really glad I caught a glance at that, because I did not know about this. I don't know how I missed it. I think because Dark Horse solicitations don't usually come out at the same time as the other three.
I think they come out earlier. I don't recall. But
I don't know. But yeah, this book was great. Black Hammer 45. We'll keep going. I'm excited.
I finally found the name of the lady from Doomsday Clock. The Fire Lady. Her name is Firehawk.
Firehawk. Okay.
Lorraine Riley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Lorraines in superhero names, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So those are kind of the big books we want to talk about. Do you have any other thoughts? I really like the art in Meet the Scrolls. I'm gonna give it another issue, but I'm not overly about it.
Like, the art is the main thing for me in that. Like, I really like Nico Henriksen's art.
I really like how he draws the scrolls. I think it's really striking.
He looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. But I just, like, the story, like, I like the story. I just, it needs to really win me over in the next one.
It had a lot of cliches. In some ways that, I don't know.
Who kills a caterpillar, even if they're a bully?
Yeah, what that's just like, teen characters, like, being over the top bullies like that is kind of a pet peeve of mine in writing. I think it's lazy.
Well, it's the Stephen King effect.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not really how those relationships work. Like, I'm not against, like, kids getting bullied, but I am against kids getting bullied. That sounded weird. And I'm not against writers using, like, those kinds of relationships with kids, but, like, writing them as these, like, cartoonish villains where they're like, murdering caterpillars. Like, what the fuck?
Like, you just got your hands dirty. Even if you're evil, why would you want that?
Yeah. Anyways.
Also, what? I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking of. Also, Green Lantern just, I think, continues to be awesome and beautiful.
Something about this. I think I realized part of the reason I didn't like the art as much in the early issues is I think I had an issue with the coloring.
Interesting.
That it was a little overwhelming and it did not service the line work very well. Something about the more subdued neutral colors with the pops of color in this really made the line work for me in a way that, like, I've seen in other books I have liked with Liam Sharp. And the early stuff in this series was, like, crazy primary colors on everything in a way that was, like, really overwhelming.
Yeah, but here you get, like, dark most of the time, but then you get a pop of red, you get a pop of green. And
it's just, like, it kind of allows everything to kind of blend into each other and feel a little bit more textural, as opposed to being, like, overly detailed, crazy nonsense being thrown at you. I thought the coloring in this issue really made the art work so much better than I think it has previously in the issue. I thought it was a gorgeous issue. But I really like the story as well. I really like that book.
And we get the recontextualization of our previous, what is it, conversation from like the first issue, like you were saying. We know that they don't suspect Hal Jordan, but they want him to go undercover to figure it out. I still think it's going to be Mogo because he has it in his eyes.
Yeah, maybe.
But, yeah, I'm super excited to see Adam Strange, see what's going to happen. Like, it's just a cop story, and it's beautiful.
It's great.
Bonkers.
But it's a cop story structurally, but then they're doing all this, like, this fucking story, and this is a weird, like, gauntlet. It's like the idea of like having to jump through hoops to like go undercover in the criminal organization, but told through this like space opera-esque, like he's joining this giant cult of vampire aliens and has to go through these weird trials for them. It's great. The mishmash, the mashup of this stuff.
And I love that like this villain who's a villain, like they're not just doing evil things just cause, like at the end they're like, you have to, be okay with letting your teammates, support you, which is awesome. Of course they would have something like that. They can't just be a group and be evil to each other all the time. No, they have to support each other. There has to be some sort of camaraderie. And I love how that's represented in here. And it makes you see like how it actually works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm willing to bet we're going to get the like undercover cop trope of he's going to like sort of become one of them. And then he's going to have to turn on them. He's going to come to appreciate the good stuff about them, but ultimately the bad stuff is too bad, and he has to turn on them. It's gonna hurt him. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Grant Morrison is just doing beautiful work. Yeah, and Liam Sharp too. Like they are working really well together.
Yes. All right. So I think that's
just. Quick word. What did you think about Immortal Hulk? I am really excited for the rest of this series. I love the effects of Thunderbolt Ross's death on everybody. I thought it was. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about Red She-Hulk, but I guess that's a thing. And I guess Betty Ross is not dead.
Yeah. So yeah. I really like the story of this issue. I did not care for the art.
Really? I loved the art.
Not my thing.
I don't know. I like the texture that they added to it. I don't know. I thought there was a really nice texture to it that really made me feel.
It feels overdone to me, but anyways, I like the story here. I continue to like Al Ewing on this book. I've grown to really appreciate it.
I also continue to think about like that thing that you said about him doing a Swamp Thing-esque Saga of the Swamp Thing-esque sort of story with the Hulk, which I think is really, really shown, like by the structure of it and by what he's doing with the character, And
I want to clarify, like, I'm not saying like he's like going like I'm going to make Saga of the Swamp Thing. I think there's something philosophically similar about the kind of recontextualization of this character, through kind of revealing these truths about him that he thought were true to not be true. And to kind of put him through these little kind of mini horror stories, like maybe
that's what I'm saying. Structurally, like it's very similar.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify what my thing I had said back when we talked about that was. Anyways, cool. Yeah, I think that's it for the books this week. Yeah. What do we got coming up next week?
Next week we got a doozy again. Oh god, I love it when just week after week it's just books that I'm so fucking excited for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got cover number 6, the final of that by Bendis and David Mack. Oh god.
Do you hear Bendis put up a picture of a dinner he went to with a whole bunch of comic creators and said that they're so Tom King and Mitch Gerrits were in the photo, and he said there's going to be a cameo or an appearance at least. So I'm assuming we're going to get analogs of them.
That's awesome.
In this issue. It's like
I'm pumped.
What would be their Ted Kong? I don't know.
Ted Prince.
Yeah, fucking. Something like that.
Then we have Justice League Dark number 9. I feel like it's been way too long since we had that. I don't know. I feel like that should be a bi-monthly book. No, I wouldn't put that.
No,
not bi-monthly, bi-weekly.
I don't think so.
Whatever. I just want a lot. Little Bird number 1, which is I don't know much about the story.
I know nothing about it, but that art looks bonkers. It looks
right.
Great.
I'm so excited just for the art. Like, okay. Then we have Outer Darkness number 5. Doug, you were souring on it. Is this starting to get to drop if you don't like it territory?
I'm not like one issue, like next issue better impress me or I'm going to drop it. Like, I'm not like putting a specific limit on it, but, cause like the last issue was the only one that really bothered me.
Okay.
So I'm not going into this with like a ton of optimism, but like I was soured a little bit by the last issue.
Okay.
But generally I've been enjoying that book. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Prodigy number 4, starting the back half of that series by Mark Millar. Exciting. Superman number 9. What's going on there? John Kent.
I assume we're going to get more John Kent backstory stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Flashback stuff.
Where fucking Jor-El starts going off the rails a little bit more.
Yeah.
So then we have some new series. Calamity Kate, as we mentioned, by Magdalene Visaggio. Magnificent Miss Marvel. This is the Saladin Ahmed?
Yes. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to pick it up because there is a number of other new books this last week and the last couple Saladin Ahmed new series I picked up. I think he's gotten shoehorned into this like fun teen book side of the Marvel universe.
And I don't know why after fucking Black Bolt.
I don't think that's to his strengths. I understand why they're putting him on characters like this, but honestly, I think it's to the detriment of his writing. But I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but it's coming out.
Okay.
Heads up.
And then we have The Goon number 1, the first issue of The Goon, right?
It's never come out before. So this is after a long absence of Goon comics. It was coming out under Dark Horse for a long, long time. And then so now Eric Powell, the creator of The Goon, started his own publisher that he's been doing Hillbilly and publishing other writers and artists under that.
So Albatross?
Albatross Funny Books. Yeah. And so now we're finally getting the return of The Goon. It's getting put out under his publisher, under Albatross. And I am so excited. I'm a little hesitant because it sounds like I love the humor stuff in this book. It sounds like they're going a little harder in that direction than they have in the past. He wants it to be less of a drama book, more of a humor book, but also the last few years when The Goon was actually coming out were like hard in the drama direction.
Oh, okay.
Very light on the humor stuff. So I'm guessing it'll end up being a pretty good balance like it used to be.
Well, I get the idea that I loved
about that book.
I get the idea that he's like a sort of tragic character in general, right?
He is a very tragic character, and they've done very tragic stories with him, and he works in that context. But generally, the kind of classic scenario is like very much a mix of like really tragic, dramatic storytelling and really madcap, goofy, schlocky humor stuff.
So, I'm basing this off of nothing, so I've never read The Goon, but I get the idea that he's almost a sort of Robot Man kind of character.
In what way?
In that he's very tragic, but he reacts to situations in very goofy ways and can be like goofy in a sense, but ultimately his backstory is a terrible thing or something. You know what I mean?
Sorta. The book is more of a humor thing than I would say Doom Patrol is. Doom Patrol is more just surreal and the comedy's through that.
Okay.
But this is more just like funny.
Straight up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I really like the sense of humor that Eric Powell puts in his books. And I fucking love his art. And I am so excited. It's been a long time since we've had a Goon comic. I am curious, would you be interested in picking this book up?
I mean, I would. I just want to know if I need to know stuff about his back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I would want to ask Eric Powell. Like, I've never read The Goon before. Tell me if I can read this.
I'm willing to bet you don't have to have read anything. And you can always go back and, recontextualize stuff by reading the old stuff. But you don't have to if you want to weight, but
how much
I'm willing
old
to bet
stuff?
it's going to be pretty standalone.
How much old stuff is there of the Goon?
There's a lot.
Like, have you read everything?
Yes. I haven't read, like, they had some like a bunch of crossover stuff.
Okay.
And some specials and stuff I haven't read, but I have read all of the numbered The Goon issues and the miniseries. They moved to a miniseries before they stopped coming out with them. Miniseries format, and they had like 2 or 3 of those before they stopped coming out. But
yeah,
I've read all the numbered issues of the Goon, the core Goon.
I mean, I don't see any harm in trying this. You know, like it seems like a momentous occasion, the first one of his new publishing company. So
yeah,
okay, I can try it.
Cool.
Doug, let's talk about Doom Patrol. Yes.
Okay.
Doom Patrol was a fun time. Episode 4, the Cult Patrol.
Cult Patrol.
Okay, so overall, I liked this episode. I think the last episode was all good. And then this episode went a little bit more into the direction of it was mostly good, but it was on the edge of being bad.
Yeah, I don't know. This one, I didn't love everything. I did really like bits of it.
I loved that we basically got the Scissor Men.
I can't recall, were the specific things that were in this, were they callbacks to the Scissormen, or were those things a Scissormen-like thing from Grant Morrison's run? Do you think those were supposed to be like the Scissormen?
I'm pretty sure they were supposed to be the Scissormen.
Okay. They were very similar to the Scissormen. Like, they cut through into reality, and they had big, like, they didn't have scissors, but they had big razor blades.
I love that.
I was a big fan of the. I think this is a specific thing from Grant Morrison's book. The weird people made of dead skin and unsent letters.
Yes,
and then they would hit them, and they would turn into the letters. It's so good.
I loved that shit. It. Yeah, it makes the battle like so like awesome and just fun, and yeah, I am big fan of that. There was just like, and then some stuff with the family I liked. The fucking turn of the dad saying, "No, run away," and then immediately getting his throat slit. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. The Cult of the Unwritten Book is an arc from Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. It was the basis for this episode, for anyone who hasn't read it, or seen the episode. I think it's honest. I like the Cult of the Unwritten Book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of my lesser favorite. It's not one of the ones that immediately I think of when I think of like the great parts of Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that they're doing a 2-parter based on it. And I don't know that I loved everything about this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think in all, it is a good, like, awesome thing. But I mean, yeah, like I said, like it's on the edge. It's on the edge of like, there are moments where it's like, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Also, the yelling in this show is starting to really get to me.
I had not noticed yelling.
Jane and Robot Man was less yelly in this episode, but Jane is getting more yelly, or at least she's not stopping. They're making Hammerhead really loud and aggressive in a way that I find very off-putting, because it's in scenes where it's just unwarranted completely. And yeah, I don't know. I find the amount of characters angrily yelling at each other in this show to sometimes be a bit much. I still am enjoying the show.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like, oh, Jesus, just talk.
I can get that. I think Cyborg's yelling is probably just because it's Cyborg. I think he's still annoying in this show a little bit. I don't really get, I liked Willoughby Kipling. I don't really get him.
Yeah, he's a fake Constantine. That's what he was in Grant Morrison's version of the Cult of the Unwritten Book. He wanted to use John Constantine, and they wouldn't let him use John Constantine. Yeah. So he made this off-brand character who is basically just John Constantine.
Yeah.
And named him Willoughby Kipling. And I think it worked in this episode. It felt very like, it's interesting that it's like so tangential to the like ongoing plot with Niles Calder, and yet they're doing a 2-parter with it. I feel like this would have been better served to be a single episode.
Maybe in terms of the greater thing, but it makes sense, I think, in the story that they kind of got caught up with this in the midst of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
I get it.
I think this was this is maybe the weakest episode we've had.
Really?
But I think so. I like, there's great stuff in it, but I think I did not enjoy this episode as much as I have enjoyed the previous 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they ended out well. I think it's funny that they're in the snow globe in the study, and they're like, "Oh, I think I've been here before." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like
remember?
That.
This is absolutely nothing to do with anything other than it being in Doom Patrol. Do you remember in the first episode, there was that cockroach that was standing on a trash can and it was like yelling poetry?
Yes, I do remember that.
Do you think that's going to come back up?
I have no idea. Point? It must be some sort of like forgotten like person that's actually part of the team. You know what I mean? I
don't know. I feel like it's not going to end up being important, but I want it to come back.
I totally agree.
I want the weird poetry yelling cockroach who was standing on a trash can like a cartoon character to come back. It was such a non sequitur.
I think it is like a part of. I think it's going to come back because actually, do you know there's in the title sequence they're all like parts of the characters and everything, and there's a specific time where a cockroach is in a jar.
Interesting.
I think it's probably a person quote unquote that's staying in the house that just is there and they don't know about it.
Huh. By the way, side note again, I don't know if we've mentioned, but that fucking intro sequence on Doom Patrol is very good.
It's awesome.
I really like it.
Like I love like the change between like you have this flowy, like this melting skin off of a hand into like the solid, like robot looking thing. Like it just flows so well and it makes you feel like everything's related, but they're totally not, you know?
Yeah. It gives the show a sense of kind of cohesion. Yeah, I think I do motion graphics as my day job, and I just on that kind of level, I really, really appreciate kind of the aesthetic and the execution of that intro. Just a little note. But
what do you think you like better? The intro of like Daredevil or this one?
Ooh, Daredevil's such a fucking good, simple concept.
I agree.
Like, it's just like they took an idea, a small, clever idea, and they just really fucking delivered on it.
Yeah.
I'd say that one's definitely more iconic. This one I just think is a really, really well executed, like, just intro sequence. Like, I don't know that there's anything like necessarily different or special about it. It looks very much in the vein of like a premium cable, show, but they just did a really good one of those.
Yeah.
The Daredevil one I think is like classic. So I'd probably go Daredevil, but
I can understand that for sure. Do you have anything else to say about Doom Patrol?
Not really.
Okay. It was good. Gonna keep watching it.
Yeah.
Doug, I wanted to do a little old book talk, just a little bit. Okay. I literally, just before recording this, finished reading The Fade Out by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips.
Nice.
That book is awesome. I would choose that book as the best one to give someone who's never read a comic book before.
Really?
Because I think I think people have a preconceived notion about what comics are and what comic books are. And I think this both gives them an awesome story that they can latch onto very easily and is not that definition and shows them that comic books can be anything and it can tell any sort of story, that it's just another medium through which that you can experience a story that you'll love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, specifically to give to someone who, you think might be turned off by the superhero stuff, or who you want to broaden their horizons in comic books. Like if someone's wants to read it, like, is into superhero stuff but doesn't want to read comics, like, I feel like you'd still give them a superhero thing. But like, for like someone who, like, you want to impress them with, like, like, this is a fucking medium, like, and here's just a really good story in this medium that kind of shows you the power of it. Yeah, I think that is a solid choice.
Like, even things like Kill or Be Killed, for example, by Ed Brubaker, they have supernatural elements that I feel like people will write off. People who are not necessarily into superheroes, who don't read comics because they're like all that stuff. Like, I feel like giving someone like that gives them ammunition to be like, no, it's like a demon. It's like whatever. It's just all the comic stuff. This one has none of that shit. And they can't say, like, that's just the comic stuff, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's something that, like, you can't write off as being throwaway or being, without substance because it's genre, you know, but, I don't know. It just, like, it shows you something really different from what an outsider would think of as being a comic book, or being what you would expect from a comic book. And it's just a really fucking good noir kind of detective story.
Oh, totally. It's awesome. I'm such a fan of this shit. I'm so glad I got to read it. I'm so glad I have this book. It just has the entire story in one, and it has all the covers in the back and everything. It's just a nice. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, among the best currently working.
I'm really excited to read. Fatal is the next one that we have from Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips.
Nice.
That I've not read yet. I just realized though, because you gave me the issues of Fatal, in the back half of the series, and I realized that I don't have the last 2 issues or 3 issues.
Yeah, I think I dropped it at a certain point. Just because I don't remember why I did, because I was enjoying it. I think I, like, missed the beginning of it or something, and I was confused, or I don't remember. There was some weird circumstance around why I didn't finish it, but yeah.
Well, if I ever find it in the long box sizing, I will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But the Fade Out is just awesome. The other one I've been reading on DC Universe, actually, I've been reading Starman on DC Universe a lot. Like, I've been at work, I download it on my phone, and then when I go to the bathroom, I read the first half of the issue. Then on a next bathroom trip, I'll read the second half.
That's funny.
I mean, it works. It's a good amount of time. Like, it's, you know, you can get halfway through in 10 minutes. Are you
using the guided panel view then?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at the whole thing. In fact, I could use the guided panels after looking at the full page, but I do like the guided panels, but they do cut off a lot of it. Like, it's really annoying that, like, they don't really care about seeing all the art. They really just care about
I just wonder if you're doing it on your phone, how you're reading it.
Zooming.
Yeah, so you're just pinch and zooming?
Yeah, pinch and zoom. Like, I look at the whole page as it looks like on the whole image, like the whole screen, and then I zoom to see the reading.
Gotcha.
And then, like, if it's like a wide paneled, like, sort of structured page, then I'll tilt it and do horizontal because it's easier.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That book is so good. How far into it are you?
I haven't read the annual. So I'm on I figured out that issue 25 and the annual came out in the same day. So I read issue 25 and now I'm on the annual.
Okay. Can you remind me, do you know how many issues that whole thing is?
60.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's longer than I thought it was.
Yeah. So I'm almost halfway through. Right now they are dealing with the poster of Merit.
Oh, yeah.
The demon coming out of the poster and getting people and putting people in there. Jack Knight just went to the poster, and yeah. Spoilers for what is it? Starman, by the way.
Have they done much stuff with the Shade at that point?
The Shade is stuck on the poster.
Yes. Okay. The Shade is great.
I like the Shade a lot. Yeah, the annual is actually the Shade in the future telling people of the adventures of Starman or something.
Yeah. The Shade is a really great character. Anyways, yeah. Anything else to say about that book or any other books you're reading?
I mean, that book, I love it. Fade Out is great. What am I reading next in book form? I have no idea. Doug, what is your vote? Tell me.
Oh boy, what are the choices here?
Okay. Do you want me to actually give you choices?
I mean, how long is the list?
It's not a long list.
What's your gut feeling on, like, what are the few things you're mulling over?
God. Well, I need to look at it. I need to look at my have not read list. So I could do Batman: Death in the Family. I could do Captain America: White. I could do more Chew. No, I can't do East of West. Oh, I need to make that. I did that. I could read Empress. I could read Hellboy. I could read Injection. I could read Irredeemable, Kabuki, Low.
Oh boy, there's so many things.
Marvels, this Metalman series, Moon Knight by Warren Ellis. I could read Phantom Stranger by Kupperberg and Mignola.
You should read
The Question.
You should read Moon Knight.
Ooh. What about Reborn or Sandman or Seven to Eternity?
The reason I say Moon Knight is because Moon Knight is short, 6 issues.
Yeah.
It's so short, and you'll get through it, and you'll have absorbed something that's just like it's one of the great kind of like short, like superhero runs.
Yeah.
Like it's an arc, but not, it's like an arc that's not an arc. It's mostly a bunch of one shots, but it's
interesting.
It's really, really, really fantastic, storytelling.
Okay.
I would read that.
I'll take that. I'll probably be able to finish it today or this weekend.
Yeah, it's excellent. What else? I've been continuing to read Sandman. I got through what was available on Comixology Unlimited. So
is it not on DC Universe?
Ooh, I should check. It might be. They might have all of it.
Also, we were going to talk about Sandman a little bit, because I'm really confused.
Question. Yes.
So recently in Starman, actually, they had Sandman, Sandman, I guess, come in, and when he came in, when he was like in this arc, when he was introduced, I was like, oh, this is Sandman. That's totally different than I thought Sandman was going to be. I thought Sandman was this whole mythical thing, but I guess he's just this dude in a gas mask who's a detective. That's awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so that is Sandman. It is not the Sandman that the Neil Gaiman series is specifically about. So that is the Sandman that existed forever. There have been other people who have taken up the mantle of Sandman, but like that is the like DC universe like Sandman.
Okay.
He wears a gas mask. He shoots a gas gun to put people to sleep.
Yes.
He's awesome.
However, I would love to read something on him someday.
There is a series I have been meaning to read forever called Sandman Mystery Theater. Also, there is a legacy version of Sandman, who is his former sidekick, who is a big part of JSA. I mentioned cool. JSA. Everybody take a drink.
Seriously, I gotta read it someday.
Well, it's a really easy reference point because it's a book that is just kind of like a big mishmash of a bunch of DC stuff. Like it's like every corner of the DC universe, you know?
More so even than 52?
Not more so, but it's like something in that vein. If you read 52 and you're like, there's no other book that's like 52 in that way, that it's just about the universe, but it's probably the closest other thing I've read.
Interesting.
In that it's just kind of like about a bunch of really disparate, different kind of characters that have very like deep hooks into the wider DC universe and the history of the DC universe specifically. Anyways.
So Sandman Mystery Theater?
That is a thing. I haven't read it, but it's been on my list forever. JSA. So Neil Gaiman was tasked back when his Sandman came out with rebooting the Sandman.
The actual Sandman.
Yes. And he said, all right, okay. What if I did this, though? And he did this crazy, weird Neil Gaiman story about the god of dreams that is more or less nothing to do with the character, the Sandman from the DC universe. Yes, because it takes place in the DC universe like the early Vertigo books did. It takes place mostly in the world of dreams and these other weird ethereal planes. But they do, like, DC characters are in it. They have referenced this different versions of the Sandman in various parts. So like it exists alongside that other version of the Sandman, but it's kind of the Sandman in name only.
Interesting.
They
Can
imply
you imagine with the execs, like, or the editor, like, looking at the story, be like, Gaiman, I fucking asked for Sandman. What the fuck is this?
They imply that the original Sandman was inspired by in a dream by this Sandman, because he's like an immortal character who's always existed.
Yeah.
It's it's funny because it's weird that it exists alongside that, but it just isn't that at all. It has a weird tangential relation to that, and it exists in the DC universe, but it is not the same character.
Okay. Is it great?
It's so good, dude. Like, I do need to check if it's on. I'm gonna check right now if it's on DC Universe, but because it might be. But
is it like
I got through
gothic?
the third volume that they had on Comixology Unlimited.
Okay. Is it very like gothic horror kind of stuff?
I don't even know. It dips into horror, but I wouldn't call it horror.
Fantasy?
It's fantasy. It's myth. It's like ruminations on the nature of stories and dreams. And it's all over the place. If you're a fan of like 80s kind of like thinky comics like Saga of the Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
And I guess you haven't read a ton of other stuff from that kind of period, but like it's
the well-known genre of 80s thinky comics.
I just mean like, cerebral kind of reimaginings of characters. It's great. I can't recommend it enough. But
so is this coming out around the same time as Saga of the Swamp Thing?
That's
a question for another time. We can do that. Unless you want to look it up. But I'm really excited. We have the first two in book form. We have the first two books. So I'm really excited at some point to get to that.
Nice.
And so You're reading Marvels as well, you have written down in here?
I read the first issue of Marvels.
How was it?
I bought that in digital form. Did you ask how is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Or I guess I read the first issue and I read there's like a 0 issue in there.
Okay.
Was okay, but it was good. But the first issue is kind of following this reporter in the 40s, who is reporting on basically the first occurrences of superheroes, known occurrences of superheroes in the Marvel universe, which is the Human Torch, the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond, and Namor, the Submariner.
Oh. Okay.
And so they're fighting, and he's reporting on it. And it's pretty cool.
Art is great. Alex Ross.
I mean, it's Alex Ross doing an entire book, and it looks incredible. I don't know, like, I probably would get something more out of this series if I read some of the material that these things are referencing, but I don't know. I feel like this thing exists on its own. also, and I'm getting like a context for this stuff that I wouldn't without reading it. I don't know.
Yeah, I can understand that. Excited to hear more. I have that. I might read it alongside when Spider-Man Life Story is coming out, because it sounds like a similar interesting concept, you know?
When what comes out?
Spider-Man Life Story by Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think I'm excited to read it, like, kind of near there. That should be fun. Okay, cool. Did you find out anything about Sandman that you wanted to look up?
It is not.
Not on DC
But
Universe.
stuff rotates in and out, so I feel like it might have been at some point. But it's not on here currently.
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, what do you think, Doug?
I think that's about it. That's going to do it for this week. If you made it this far into the show, thank you so much for listening. The absolute biggest thing you can do for us if you like the show is to give us a review or a star rating on iTunes, on your podcast app of choice in general, but iTunes is the big one in terms of discoverability for us. If you enjoyed the show, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse.
Yeah.
Find a mouse. And just kind of squeak at them until they have learned how to use a phone. Okay, 1, that is not the sound a mouse makes. 2, everyone has turned off this podcast.
Okay. But they're missing the valuable content.
Valuable content. But squeak at them until they understand how to use an electronic device to download a podcast app and then download our show and then listen to it and then understand English. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back in to this feed next week. Or even better yet, if you subscribe to the show, you don't even have to think about it. It just shows up on your phone.
I just want to make a note that the mouse is definitely going to have to learn English to learn how to download something, probably.
I don't know, man. What if, we're going to do like a Swamp Thing Planarian Worms thing. You're going to, train worms to navigate to it without knowing what any of the buttons mean or do. They're just going to know which buttons they need to hit. And then you're going to feed those, did I say worms? Rats. Feed those rats to other rats and then keep doing that until you have a rat that knows how to use the podcast app without knowing English.
Okay, I don't know the whole Planarian Worms Swamp Thing, so I don't really know the reference.
Have you not read that stuff? I thought you had read Swamp Thing.
I mean, I'm on the 4th book.
No, yeah, it's in the first issue.
The Planarian Worms?
Yeah. It's the whole analogy about like how he's spoilers for Swamp Thing, about how it's this theory about Planarian worms. They did an experiment and they taught these worms to navigate this maze and then fed them to other worms, and then the worms were able to more commonly or more frequently navigate the maze.
I do remember that.
The idea that he like absorbed the knowledge of Alec Holland without actually being Alec Holland. Anyways,
that's cool. I think it's Planarian worms actually that the way they breed is they have this thing called penis fencing.
Oh yeah, boy.
They get these like big boobs kind of things that are like stabby things that are filled with semen. And basically they're hermaphroditic, so that when they're breeding, they have this like battle to see who can stab the other with their semen filled boobs. And whoever gets stabbed has to carry the children.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making this up. This is a real thing.
Yeah,
it's great.
Up.
It's called penis fencing. So there you go.
Great.
Now you know. There's the valuable content.
That's the valuable content.
But you can subscribe, like we were just talking about, on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music, a lot of other Spotify, a lot of other podcast apps. So whichever one you prefer, we've got you covered.
Wow.
In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. Video versions on there, as well as Facebook, not actual videos, but actual videos. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter or at our email that we check every day, comicscovered@gmail.com. Actually, it's kind of on me now. I should be checking it because I actually have the login now.
Yeah, you can't yell at me anymore for being bad about checking it because you also have the login now.
I did not yell at you. You'll know when I'm yelling at you. I've never yelled at you, Doug.
Uh-huh.
That's a lie. I'm a planarian worm.
And I'm Doug.
And this has been Penis Fencing.
Comics covered.
Yes, that too. Cheerio.